welcome to today's video. And in today's video, I'll be, labeling every target state, or what each party's target state should be in the 2022, governor elections plus 3 from 2021, although, only one of them is actually a target for me. So yeah, by the way, every state, obviously, right now labeled with, the party that currently holds the governorship in those states. So yeah, let's just get started. First off, Oregon, I'm going to say, is not a target. Kate Brown only won here by like 6.4%, which is not exactly a lot, and she is retiring. She's term limited. But I don't think that the GOP need to put too much money into this race. They're not going to win there. But then, first Republican target is the state of California. Now I cannot verify this, but supposedly, I just saw a video suggested, that said this, so I'm gonna have to look more into this later. But supposedly, Caitlyn Jenner was leading Gavin Newsom in a poll, and as a general rule of thumb, I would say if a Republican's leading in a poll, they're gonna win the race. Because I mean, like, the polls skew to the left most of the time. Unless it's like if it's like a Trafalgar poll, obviously don't trust that. But as with the general polling average in like 538 or whatever, if a Republican is winning, they're gonna win the race almost every time. So just the fact that Jenner is leading should be very worrying for Gavin Newsom. Which is why I'm gonna throw that in as a Republican target. He'll probably still be able to win though. Next up, Nevada. Sisolak. He won by a pretty large margin of victory. He won by 4.1%. However, 2018 was a blue wave. We saw Jackie Rosen win by a similar amount on the same ballot. We're likely going to see it slip down to D+2, D+3. And with a strong Republican candidate, we could see it become, with a strong Republican candidate, we could see it become even till R. So that should definitely be a Republican target, without the blue wave. Mackey's going to be an incumbent now, which will probably help him, but still, we could see it, become pretty competitive. And the first Democratic target is the state of Arizona. Now, Ducey won by almost 15%. However, he is term limited. He will not be running, for this race, or for the seat. Now, the Arizona GOP really like to nominate Trumpists, and Trumpists do really poorly in Arizona. Last time a Trumpist won Arizona was 2018 with Doug Ducey, in the governor's race, or last time they won Arizona on a major statewide race or major race was Ducey in 2018. A lot of Republicans don't like him though, for his handling of the election results in Arizona. Other than that, before Ducey was Trump in 2016. We saw Martha McSally lose twice. We saw Trump lose. So they really don't like Trumpists in Arizona. But the Arizona GOP love to nominate Trumpists. This should definitely be a Democratic target. This should definitely be a flip for them, especially with more suburban vote share. Now, for the next Republican target is the state of Kansas. Honestly, there should probably be a Republican governor of Kansas right now. The thing is, the Kansas GOP nominated Chris Kobach, just like they did in 2018 or 2020 for the Senate race. Now, they're kind of like the Arizona GOP, except for just with Chris Kobach, in the sense that they like to nominate Trumpists, except for they just seem to like to nominate Chris Kobach, who is a failed candidate. He is not a very strong candidate, in the state of Kansas. So it's likely that whenever they run someone other than Kobach, if they run Kobach, it's gonna go blue. But if they run someone other than Kobach, especially if there is not a significant independent running, then we could see it. We're likely going to see it be a Republican state, and they should definitely be targeting this race. Now for the next Democratic target, and this might be surprising, but it's actually the state of Iowa. Looking at Iowa in 2018, Kim Reynolds only won by 2.8%. Now this is a fairly narrow margin of victory. Now there is somebody, I was doing a bit of research. I guess it's research. With Tom Miller. Now he is their attorney general. I actually didn't see him on any of the potential or anything. I do think he'll be a really strong candidate. In 2018, yes, it was a blue wave or whatever, but he won literally every county in the very, very, very heavily. A lot of these counties voted for Trump by, I don't have a map pulled up, but they seem to, they voted, a lot of these are rural counties that voted for Trump, but like the smallest amount that he got was between 60 and 70. That's like really, really, that's really, really strong. And I mean, like, he could, if Reynolds as an incumbent won by 2.8% as an incumbent, yes, it was a blue wave. But if she was able to win by only by 2.8% as an incumbent against somebody as strong as okay, Miller, forgot his name, Tom Miller. I think I remember his first name was Tom. Um, but if he runs, it's gonna be close, and they should definitely try to run him. But either way, I mean, like, if Reynolds was only able to win by a little bit, it's probably gonna be a Democratic target. Now, the next state, the Republican target, or my next Republican target, is the state of Wisconsin. Now, looking at this, Tony Evers, he beat an incumbent Scott Walker by 1.1%. I mean, like, that's a pretty large margin of victory, given that he beat an incumbent. However, you have to remember, this was a blue wave. There was a decent chance that we would have seen Evers lose, if this were not a blue wave. I mean, like, it was a blue wave against an incumbent Scott Walker that he only won the race by 1.1%. This likely would have been a Republican seat had it not been a blue wave year. Now, he is an incumbent at this point, which would likely benefit him. But given the narrow margin of victory in a blue wave, this should definitely be a Republican target. Now, the next Republican target is Michigan. I normally would have said no way, but supposedly, I forget his name, but I think, like, the police chief of Detroit or something, is supposedly, like, eyeing up a governor bid, and he apparently is a strong candidate. I don't know. I haven't, like, done a whole lot of research into him. But he supposedly is a fairly strong candidate. And to be fair, it is Michigan. Whitmer won here by single digits, I believe. I think it was like 9 point something. Yeah. In a blue wave mix, she should have probably won by less, and it was a flip. But still, I mean, like, if the GOP is able to nominate a strong candidate, and Whitmer didn't win by double digits in a blue wave, I mean, like, obviously double digits at all for Michigan would be insane. But I mean, like, we could see it be a fairly strong showing for the GOP in Michigan. I don't see them winning there, but it should definitely be one of their targets. Now, for the next Democratic target, I put the emphasis weird. It is the state of Georgia. Now, looking at Georgia in 2018, Brian Kemp narrowly won. He won by 1.4%, which is obviously a very, very narrow margin of victory. And I mean, like, we also have to remember, he's likely not going to be the nominee. He's probably not going to be the nominee. It's probably going to be Vernon Jones. And we've already seen Georgia does not like Trumpists. I mean, like, Trump lost here. Obviously, he's a Trumpist. He's Trump. But we also saw both Loeffler and Perdue. Even Perdue. I mean, like, he was, like, he was weird because he was some sort of weird cross between traditionalism and Trumpism, like Roy Blunt. But he still was a Trumpist at the end of the day, and he still lost by over a percentage point. I see Stacey Abrams beating Vernon Jones by 1, 2, maybe even 3%. Especially if she does better in the suburbs. I don't see how the Democrats could lose this race, but they definitely need to put a lot of money into this race. This is a race this is a seat that they need to pick up, that they should pick up, and it definitely needs to be one of their targets. Now, for the next Democratic target, by the way, Ohio, I don't think will be a target. Looking at 2018, DeWine, he won by like 3.7%. You're going to need to run a really strong candidate. I think that Tim Ryan is really strong, but he's already running for the governorship, for the Senate seat there, which is actually, I think, a really strong or really smart move, by, I guess, Ryan, the Ohio Democratic Party, or Tim Ryan, or both, I guess. But I don't really see any strong Democrats in, this race. Maybe Nina Turner. I don't even know if she may have said that she wouldn't run, for this. But I mean, like, I see this still being a Republican seat. I don't see the Democrats being able to pull off enough, especially considering the fact that DeWine wasn't an incumbent here. But for the next Republican target, it is the state of Pennsylvania. This should not really come as a surprise. Tom Wolf won by a lot, yes. He is term limited. He will not be running again. We will likely see Connor Lamb run. I feel like a Lamb versus Costello matchup could end up being very interesting. Costello, there's a pretty good chance he runs for Senate. I don't even know. He might have already announced. I don't think he has. But this should definitely be a Republican target. They need to be trying to win the seat. I mean, like, it's going to be a very competitive race. Connor Lamb will probably be the Democrats' best option here. But it is definitely a seat that the GOP should be eyeing up and they should try to take. Now for the next Democratic, or put the emphasis where it again, Democratic target, it is the state of Maryland. Larry Hogan, I mean, like, he won by a lot. He won by almost 15%. However, he is term limited. Once again, Hogan will not be running for this seat in 2022. Without Hogan, it is practically a safe Democratic seat. I don't see, maybe if someone just like Hogan runs and he gets loads of popularity or something, we could see it go red again, but at this point, it's not going to go red. Hogan was a very, very strong Republican for the state of Maryland, and I don't really see the GOP nominating somebody else like Hogan. So I'm going to say it will be a Democratic target, and it should be a Democratic pickup. Now, for the next Democratic target, it is the state of New Hampshire. Now, normally I would say don't even bother with New Hampshire. I mean, like, this is not the 2020 results. Sununu won here by like 30% in 2020, I think. But what we have to look at is the fact that Sununu is likely going to run for Senate. We're likely going to see Sununu running and winning a Senate race in New Hampshire, which means it leaves the door wide open for the Democrats. And this should definitely be a Democratic target. They should definitely focus loads and loads of money into the state. They should be trying desperately to win the state. And they honestly, they kind of need this seat. I mean, like, a lot of these moderate Republicans who could easily be Democrats have actually kind of hurt them because they have seats in states like Vermont and Massachusetts, and it makes the Democrats need to win seats in states like Kansas and states like Montana, and states like Louisiana, Kentucky, where we all see Democratic governors, and it makes it kind of difficult for them. That they have to have seats. I mean, like, obviously, when we see parties like cross-party support in other states, it makes it kind of difficult for the other party. So the Democrats need to be able to be winning more in a lot of these more safe Democratic states. New Hampshire is by no means a safe Democratic state, but it is still overall a liberal state. So they should definitely be targeting the state, and they should probably come out of 2022 with either a Senate seat, a governor seat, or both. Or 2 Senate seats, I guess. 2 Senate seats and a governor seat, or 1 Senate seat and 1 governor seat. Or 2 Senate seats and no governor seat. They should come out with one of those three, because unless the GOP nominates someone really strong for the governorship, that's probably what we're going to see. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Stay tuned for my next video tomorrow. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please comment your suggestions down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.